Hi, Andy Young of HCDC with another Q&A on the SBA 504 loan program. This video will answer the question, can I set up a real estate owning entity and still be an SBA 504 borrower? In most cases, an SBA loan can only be borrowed by an eligible small business. However, the SBA does allow an exception to this in what is called the Eligible Passive Concern or EPC rule. In the 504 program, the EPC rule allows real estate and equipment to be owned by a separate legal entity and then leased back to the small business. The EPC rule provides some flexibility when using the 504 program. The EPC can take any form of ownership structure, such as an LLC, corporation, trust, and even tenancy in common. Non-owners of the business can have an ownership stake in the EPC, and while rare, there doesn't even need to be common ownership between the EPC and the business at all. The EPC uses the 504 proceeds and may lease the property to one or multiple eligible businesses. This allows the owners of non-related businesses to own and occupy a building together, forming an EPC to obtain 504 financing. While there can be multiple operating companies in a 504 project, there can only be one EPC. If the project assets are titled in the EPC, SBA allows the business to either be a co-borrower or guarantor. But if ownership of the project assets are split, such as the building is owned by the EPC, but project machinery and equipment is owned by the business, both the EPC and the business must be co-borrowers. When using an EPC for 504 financing, there must be a lease between the EPC and the business. This lease must be in writing, be subordinated to the SBA mortgage on the property, and have a term including options to renew solely exercised by the business, at least equal to the term of the 504 loan. The EPC must furnish as collateral for the loan an assignment of all rents paid under the lease. The lease payments cannot exceed an amount needed to pay the 504 and third-party lender loan and an amount to cover the EPC's expenses in holding the property, such as maintenance, insurance, and property taxes. The business may occupy the entire building, but this is not required. The SBA 504 program allows some of the project real estate to be leased to a non-related third-party tenant. But the business must lease the entire building from the EPC and then may sublease some of the space to the third-party tenant under the rules governing occupancy requirements. Generally, owners of 20% or more of the EPC and the business must personally guarantee the 504 loan, although the SBA can require owners of less than 20% to also guarantee. Using an eligible passive concern as the borrower is a very common technique when using the SBA 504 program. If you have any questions concerning this or any other aspects of the SBA 504 program, please give us a call. Thanks for watching.